CDC's most recent quarantine guidelines have been the topic of debate in the medical community. Not all doctors agree on the shortened isolation period.
Yeah, we wanted to reach out to local experts to clear up any confusion that you might have. ABC Action News reporter Larissa Scott finds out what to do if you're still sick after quarantining or testing positive with no symptoms, and explains how to calculate your isolation time as well.
What the CDC is advising people to do right now is if you have a positive test or have symptoms of COVID, to basically isolate yourself for 5 days.
The new CDC guidelines also suggest people quarantine for 5 days if they were exposed to COVID-19 and aren't vaccinated or boosted. The new rules say you should get tested 5 days after being exposed, regardless of vaccination status. If you test positive for the virus, the CDC recommends wearing a mask in public for 5 days after isolation. Here's how to calculate your isolation time. Day 0 is your first day of symptoms or when you get a positive test result. Day 1 is the first full day after your symptoms develop or after you got tested. The CDC says this shorter quarantine time focuses on the amount of time that a person is most infectious and allows for people to return to work sooner. But some doctors say it's not the perfect fit for everyone, so you need to still keep track of your symptoms.
I think the CDC guidelines that came out that said you can return after on your 6th day after 5 days of symptoms, those still can be challenging because there's absolutely going to be some people that will be contagious and positive for longer than that.
Some experts say these new rules create a gray area regarding when it's actually safe to return to work or end isolation. Here's what to do if you're still symptomatic after 5 days, but you're testing negative.
It's fine to go back. You're at the back end of the thing, and it's just your immune system that's still making you sick.
And what happens if you're over your symptoms and feeling better, but still testing positive?
That's, I think, the reason why they're recommending this 10-day period. Because even if you're positive after 10 days, chances are you're no longer having any real active virus in your system.
Some doctors tell us they think it's better to err on the side of caution to limit as much spread as possible.
It would be ideal for us on the medical side if we did have a testing strategy that if you're still positive on day 6 when you test, then you should continue your quarantine for a full 10 days.
In Tampa, Larissa Scott, ABC Action News.